Ladies and gentlemen, Game Club.
Ooh.
Each week,
Yep.
we talk about a game after we've played a chapter or a segment or a timed interval of that game.
Yep.
Yes.
True.
And we talk about it. You, out there listening along, you can play along with us and you can share your experiences because this is a club and a club is more than two people. Is it though? Could be.
It is.
So if you want to play along with us, you're more than welcome to do so. You can join us live in the chat, twitch.tv/StreamVoidPod.
Yep.
Or there's a link in the Discord down below. You can go to the forum post that is there and share your experiences, and we will read them on the air.
Yes.
Even though we're not really on the air, but we're kind of on the air. Whatever it is. And we are playing Control.
Yep.
Which is a game that came out a little while ago.
From Remedy.
And it is amazing.
Yes.
And we're on Chapter 6.
Sure. Mission 6.
Mission 6.
Yeah.
Chapter 6, yes.
Where we have to find
Our broski.
Devin? What's his name?
Dylan. So we were we were watching some Gen V.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. And then I played some
Cyberpunk.
Not Cyberpunk. I played Game Club.
Okay.
Like,
Control.
Yeah, Control. And I was like, aren't they both Dylan?
Who's Dylan? Oh, his brother in the basement or whatever? Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, it is Dylan.
Okay. I never noticed that. And I watched that, whatever that show is last night.
Yeah. They're both Dylan.
But I've not seen him outside of him getting, like, molested the one time.
Yes.
In the basement. So I haven't seen all the episodes yet.
Yeah, so we're going to find Dylan. We've got the free reign. Shepard? What's her name?
Jessie?
No, not Jessie.
Shepard.
Is it Shepard?
I think so.
Shepard was like, this is where he is. I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Don't take him out of there. Don't let him out.
Yeah. And we're supposed to go down to the Panopticon in Containment. And man, I'm looking at the map. I'm like, where the fuck is Containment? I can't find it. I can't find Panopticon. I'm running around, be like, this area's blacked out. Okay, is it over here? No. Then it's like, oh, maybe now I'm supposed to go through the ashtray maze. So I go over there, run around. No. And I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go here? And then I was like, oh my god, if I go in this fucking elevator and press the button, and if it just says Containment, I'm gonna be pretty pissed here. So I go in the big elevator, press the button. It's like, hey, you want to go to Containment? I was like, oh, there you go. For fuck's sakes, man.
Beauty.
Yeah, I ran around for half an hour trying to figure out how to get to Containment.
So, I went straight to the elevator and hit the button.
I was just faffing about. So, also, did you talk to, what's her name there? The blonde-haired woman in the boardroom.
Emily?
It's like, no, it's not Emily.
Emma?
But it's something, anyways. She, when you talk to her in this mission, she's like, oh, I lost track of my friend. Can you find my friend for me? She's down below.
Hello.
She's down below the central research or whatever. So I was like, okay, that's a side mission. I'll check it out. So you go down there and it's like the zombie central down there. So I'm wondering if this is where you went. Remember you said you fell down an elevator?
Yep.
And you got wrecked?
On my way down.
You got wrecked a bunch. Was it zombies that were wrecking you? Yeah, so that's where you have to go to talk to her.
Oh.
It's down there.
Interesting, because when I go down there and not have that mission, there's nobody down there.
Okay, well, maybe it's a different area, but this area...
You have to go to research.
Yeah, and you went all the way down. So you go around this corner behind the stairs, and there's like all this mold shit, and then you fall down the hole.
Yep.
Yeah, that was down
in the
there.
Bathroom.
I don't know if I was in a bathroom, but as I was walking around down there, you go into a big area with some mold, and then you go into another area, and there's like what looks like a portable building.
Oh.
And the door, there's two guards standing there. And they're like, oh, I don't think you want to go in there. She doesn't like it when people barge in. And I'm like, I'm the director. Fuck you. And I go in and she's like talking about how this mold is coming in from another dimension.
Oh, yeah.
And she needs to stop it because it's probably going to just take over our dimension because of the way it replicates or whatever. So
that is a different area. That is not within the area that I was in.
Interesting. Or it might have been closed off.
It could have been closed off.
Maybe, I don't remember, but maybe I needed the key card.
I'm going to do that when I play and see if it's the same.
Well, anyways, I was down there, and I don't know if the zombies play by the rules.
They don't.
Because I went into a room, and there was some zombies at the end of the thing. So I started throwing things at me. I don't like them because they just walk towards you.
Yes.
Which is disturbing to me for whatever reason. So I destroyed them, and I ran over there, and I could see through the window there was zombies walking along the window, like coming to the door to get in. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then I go and I'm looking around here and I turn around and there's a zombie halfway into the room walking at me and it's really freaked me out. So I started throwing things at it or whatever and I killed it. But then when I went forward to go further into the mission, I got to another room and there's zombies across the way or whatever. Yep. So I started throwing at them, but I didn't know they were like spitting shit at me and whatever.
You cannot see that.
Yeah.
It's you can't see it. And it locks onto you.
Yeah.
So it tracks you.
So then I died. And it took me all the way back to the boardroom. So I was like, ah, fuck it. I'm going to the main mission. I'll do this later. But yeah, I don't like the zombies. They're just, I don't know.
They're tough.
I didn't find them tough. It was just disturbing the way I like in that area where that quest was, the big room, open room I go to. I went around the corner. I'm like, oh my God, there's like 10 of them coming at me. So then I started throwing shit at them and, you know, nothing was exploding because there was nothing to explode, right?
Yep.
So I knocked a bunch of them down. Then I had to fall back because I ran out of my juice. So anyways, it was disturbing. Before
I did any of the mission stuff, I had 7 points to distribute.
Wow. Holy.
And I don't know how you have the third slot, personal mod slot unlocked. I've only got 2.
If you look on the bottom, it shows you a progression bar.
Yeah, you have to level up.
But it says you need to spend a certain number of points to unlock the last one. So I made specific sure that I bought a skill that took me to that amount of points. Because I had like, whatever. I had like 3 points, right?
Yeah.
And I needed to spend 3 points to get to the next mod slot. But all my skills were either worth 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I bought a 3-pointer. Because if I bought a 2, I would have been short 1. And I would have to wait till I level up again. So...
Yeah, so you must be way higher level, because I am not even close to filling that third bar.
I don't know. I mean, mine's full, so...
Yeah, mine's not, and I had 7 points, spent them all.
Yeah.
Still didn't get it.
I don't know how I could be higher level, but...
My throw is maxed.
Like all the way down?
All the way down.
Something's rotten in Denmark, because mine's definitely not maxed. Yeah. But I have a bunch on the right-hand side, too.
Yeah, I maxed out my throw, and my secondary throw slot is almost maxed. I think I'm 1 short.
What the fuck?
From having that maxed.
I might have to look at it and see, because mine is nowhere near close to full that way. But I have all my other skills, except shield. I don't think I put anything in shield.
I found some, so there's a bit in shield where when your shield breaks, you throw all of the stuff at the nearest enemy.
Oh, yeah.
That you have.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm going to get my way down to there, because that sounds cool as frig.
I just never use shield. So...
I have used it a couple times, especially so when you're going through, there's a couple of documents talks about the anchor.
Yeah.
The anchor thing. And when you go and you start doing the mission, there is a guy in a HRA and he's wounded.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do that one.
You didn't do that one?
No, I didn't do that. Yeah. That's when you go into the clocks.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, eh?
So there's a part where I was like...
Try not to spoil it too much.
I'm not going to try... I'm trying not to spoil it too much. There's a part to get to, you know, through the clocks. And you have to, like... It's like a big jump.
Okay.
And so it's like, okay. Big jump.
Okay, so did you do this before you purged the TV?
Before I purged the TV.
Okay.
It's doable.
Oh.
But as soon as I purged the TV, I was like, oh,
that would have been so
much
easier.
That would have been so much. I died so many times in that area.
Oh, yeah. Well, the reason I didn't do that, I didn't do the clocks, and I didn't do the other one for the rescuing the girl or finding the girl, was because I didn't stream it. And I just was like, I'm just going to do the main mission. And then when I get back to streaming next week, then I can go and do all the side missions and everything. Because I also found another side mission that you couldn't actually do. Because I was going to do that one because it seemed interesting. Did you talk to the guy that was looking at the jukebox or whatever?
No, there's never been a guy in the jukebox.
Well, no, maybe it wasn't a jukebox. What was he looking at? A refrigerator? Anyways.
Oh, yes. So he's in the Panopticon.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the refrigerator because I was like, just like earlier in the mission, I was reading all the stuff about the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's the refrigerator. But the Panopticon is super cool because now you get to see all of the objects of power that you've been reading about the entire time.
Well, besides the ones we've like...
Yeah.
Oh, no, these aren't objects of power. These are... What did they call them? There's two different things.
AWEs?
Yeah, these are the... Objects of power ones that the director can... Cleanse and take their power. Yeah. But the other ones are like... Because what did that guy with the comb over say? He said objects of power are like a hurricane, but the other ones are like a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And that now the hiss has come in, it's turning them to be like, rather than it's raining corn, it's raining knives or whatever he said. Which, that was the other thing too, is when I got to that guy, he's like humming a song when you go in the room. Because he's the guy that says like, oh, you want to talk to your brother? Well, there's a object of power on the loose.
Yeah.
It's going to destroy the place. You should take care of that first, and then you can talk to your brother. But when I first went in there, he's like humming. And then when I talked to him, he's just standing there looking at me for 5 seconds. And I'm like, oh, he's really awkward. And then it cuts to Jessie, and she's standing there just looking at him.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to him. I'm like, this is a weird scene. That, like... When is Jessie gonna say something? And then it cuts to her like zoomed in on her eyes, like she's talking to you as the character. And I'm like, is the audio not playing? So then I was like, this is weird. Well, no, there was no subtitles or nothing. But that was the thing. The audio track, I don't think played, so their lips weren't moving either. So they were literally just staring at each other.
That's wild.
So I was like, okay, let me quit and go to the menu. Because maybe it glitched out. So I reloaded. I go to talk to him. And it does the same thing. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right. But I quit to the main menu. So I was like, let me restart the game. So then I restarted the game and I go in and he's like, oh, hello, how are you? And then their lips are moving and everything. I was like, that was super weird. So
yeah.
It was very, because at first I just thought it was like an awkward scene where like the guy looks like he's awkward, right? He's got like a scar on his face and comb over and his tie's crooked. So I just thought he was like socially inept, but it was like, no, it's just a glitch. But yeah, we have to cleanse the TV.
Yeah.
And it's
in order to get to Dylan, we have to cleanse the TV.
Because it's loose and it'll wreck the whole Panopticon if it doesn't get cleansed, basically.
Yeah. What a wild journey it takes us on.
So yeah, it's like takes us into an extra dimension almost. I don't know. We have to make our way through the Panopticon to the 4th floor, and then we find the TV, and she's like, oh, I better cleanse this, and it's like, ha, gotcha, it flies away.
Just distorting the entire reality around everything.
And then we have to go fight the head of security or something. Yeah. Salvador.
Yeah, Salvador. He's the head of security.
Yeah. And he's like, I mean, I don't know what he is, just a big hiss monster, basically.
Yeah. This is pretty tough fight.
But all the guys drop down and they fight you, and I died the first time because I didn't realize some other guys had like come around from the side and started shooting me.
Yeah.
So then the second time I was like, I better pay more attention. But I think what really helped me this time was I would dominate mind on some of these guys and they would distract them. Other thing too is like when it spawned the heavy like guys with a rocket launcher, I kept grabbing the rockets out of the sky and shooting them back, which I really like a lot.
Yes. But I still haven't got the dominate mind yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was not that hidden either.
Huh.
It was just off the side when you go down one of the hallways. You can like literally see it. There's like a red room and you just go into it and get it.
I'll have to see if I can find it next time.
I don't remember exactly where it was. I'm sure if you look on the map, there'll be like a little side area that's
just question marks.
Yeah, and then it'll be right in there.
Probably.
And then once we dominate or cleanse the TV, we get the levitate ability. And as soon as we got it, I'm like, damn, where was that one hole in the wall that I saw that I was like, I need to fly into that hole in the wall. I remember going down. I remember specifically we were going down. It was kind of busted in the area. And I'm like, there's this hole in the wall up top. And I'm like, how the fuck do I get into that hole? So
yeah, like that, the quest where I was going through the clocks, there's some areas and I'm like, how the hell do you get up there? Like, what is this crap?
And that makes me think like you went to the top of the Black Rock Quarry and saw all the campsites. It's like, oh, I should fly up there now. It'd be really easy.
Yeah.
But the other thing too, once we beat the whatever the TV was called, I can't remember. Did you notice that the area where the TV was, the walls were all fucked up and there would be like
go back?
But also, like, the wall would be vertical, but there'd be, like, tables and chairs stuck on the wall and stuff. So I was like, are we getting a gravity power later where we can run on walls weirdly?
Well, normally, like, when you cleanse the control point in the area, everything goes back to normal. No. But there's no control point to cleanse in this area. I was looking around. Oh, no control point.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be some sort of weird gravity switching ability later. Like, who the fuck knows in this game? But I did like after I got the levitate power, it's like, oh, there's a chest way up there. Let me fly up there and grab that, you know?
Yeah, I was just like, just jump off the edge. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You just float around.
Exactly. I did die in the astral plane after I got the power because I'm used to a game like when you're doing a levitation thing, it'll be like jump and then hit A again.
Yeah.
So I kept doing that, even though I knew it's like hold down A. So I'd be like, okay, here we go. And I'd jump and then I would hit it again and just fall between two blocks. I was like, fuck. I did it again. I did like after you leave the area where you have gotten the power to levitate, you have to go to floor 5 to see Dylan. And as you leave the little area with the TV, you come out on the catwalk in the Panopticon. And you can see off to the right, there's like I don't know, one of the cells is sort of hanging and it's broken open.
Yep.
And you're supposed to jump to that. And then but they spawn one bad guy on there to take your eye immediately to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's a good way to like point you to where you got to go without saying like, hey, you should jump over here. Wouldn't that be a smart play? So I killed the guy and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll just fly over there and whatever. Yeah. Except I went too close to the railing. So Jesse's like, oh, I'll vault over the railing. So then I fell all the way down to level 2.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, look at all this Panopticon stuff down here. And you can look and there's like a swan. Oh, there's a crowbar. And I was like, what's the crowbar's deal over here?
Yeah, right.
Is this a little Half-Life reference or what?
Yeah, the swan, the crowbar. Yeah. Everything you've read about is here.
Yeah. So then I had to fly my way back up to the top and everything. But then we get up to level 5 and we eventually get to the little Dylan room.
Mm-hmm.
It's all destroyed. Yeah, it's all destroyed. He's escaped. You can listen to a little tape about Dylan. Well, actually, did you listen to a little tape about Dylan?
I listened to a little tape about Dylan.
Because you get there and you call back to whatever and she's like, oh yeah, your brother just showed up here. He's over here. He's surrendered. You should come back. And then that's the end of the mission.
I know.
Like, oh my God. Why?
I was like, son of a...
So then I went in the room and I looked around and I flew to the top of his cage and there's a treasure up there, of course.
Yep.
And then there's a little audio tape of them interviewing Dylan. And like, I get what the whole point of it was, is they wanted to know about Jessie, where she is, what she's doing, you know?
Yeah.
So they're asking Dylan these questions like, hey, let's talk about Jessie a bit. Did she ever say she'd like to go on a trip anywhere, you know? Any addresses that she'd like to go to? Or like, should she want to visit any monuments or anything like that? And he's like, why are you asking me these questions? And they're like, oh, no reason. We just want to get to know you or whatever. And the other thing we learned from this too is that Jessie, they basically told Dylan like, oh, we asked her to come, but she didn't want to come. She doesn't want to come here. Sorry. Whereas they never asked Jessie or anything about her, you know. She wanted to find Dylan, so Dylan thinks that she didn't give a fuck about him.
Yeah.
So he's all upset about it because he's like, when I first came here, I really thought highly of my sister, but now I don't really care about her or whatever. So the Bureau of Controls kind of screwed them both over here.
Yeah, and we find out that Dylan's been affected by the hiss.
Yeah,
but not in the normal way you would get affected by the hiss.
Something's going on with him, but he still is like human, relatively, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's a lot of story stuff happened, but it was actually a short-ish mission.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, oh, it's over now.
Did you find the audio or the log of the guy who did the voice acting for the Ranger mission, the Ranger course?
I don't know. What was he saying?
He was complaining that they used the first take.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't know they were going to use the first take. Like, what is this?
They did that I think that was in the room with the mission, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I went through and reread a lot of stuff that I hadn't read yet.
Yeah.
So
that was in the mission room, basically. Yeah, right before you start the mission, you listen to this thing, and he's complaining about whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too. I like how some of the paperwork you find is just nothing.
Yeah,
it's just like, what was the point of this? But there's a lot of it. Like, I think I've already found 100 and something pieces of media.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, I guess some of it is automatic too. Like, you fight a new hiss monster, it's like, here's a hiss file about him. But I picked up and read so much shit.
Yeah,
yeah, and I heard a tape today or yesterday when I played it. Like, just as a reminder for everyone today that anyone that gets any notes or memos on red or pink paper, incinerate immediately. If you don't, there's grounds for termination and you may also become injured. It's like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Yeah, and then again with so we go back into the Hope Motel.
Yep.
And there's another motel mission.
Yep.
And we had to straighten a painting.
Yep.
But like
easy.
Yeah, what was the deal? There was nothing going on with this one.
No.
I was just like, I must have missed something. Like, what was the deal? So the only option I had was to like straighten the painting. So I did that, and then I went back to the first room, and it was like, oh, that worked.
Yep.
But I did hear when I went in there was a man screaming.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, where was that from? It's very weird.
Yeah.
And also in the previous time, I forgot to say, when we went in there, you could hear people outside being like, hello, I want to get a room. I booked a room.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, strange. There was like someone outside going like, I think they're closed. Al, let's get out of here. They're not open. So it was very interesting. But yeah, it was just like, what was the there was no puzzle or anything.
Once you go to the clock room, you have to do the thing.
Okay.
And
oh, that's right. There was a cord right there.
Yeah. So you go through, and the puzzle, I didn't know how to do it.
Oh, interesting. I can't wait to try it and see if I can figure it out.
I don't know what the solution was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, I got through, but I have no idea
random
what
guessing
I did.
Or whatever?
Yeah. I would go, ding, first room.
Okay.
Okay. Ding, second room. Okay. Ding, third room. Okay. Ding, first room. What is happening? Ding, second room. I went through the cycle like 3-4 times, and then I was like, here's your key.
Interesting.
Like, what is going on? How is this puzzle? Okay. What is this puzzle?
I'll have to check it out. Maybe there's no puzzle.
There might not be a puzzle.
Yeah, lots of questions still, so I'm excited to see where it goes. Still no new costume for Jesse.
Nope.
I don't know where you find them.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm gonna go back to all like the areas and take a look with my levitation powers now and see what I can do. Because I definitely want to find that one hole that I saw, because I definitely want to see what's in there. It's probably nothing, probably some shitty mod or whatever. But I definitely want to check that out.
I'm just going to rub my face on surfaces and try and get out of bounds.
Yeah. I did open one chest when I was streaming it. Bob Gaming was watching me. And I was like, oh, there's a chest up there. And I'm like, I got to get that. And he's like, you can't get that yet, cryptically.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? I think I can probably just do it this way if I jump and dash or whatever.
Jump dash, yep.
So I did get it. He's like, how did you get up there? It's like, I don't know. I just did.
The jump dash is very powerful.
Yeah,
you
it
can
is.
just keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, you can keep going.
You can just keep going.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm excited to see what's coming next.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Next time I play, I'm going to do all those side missions and everything. I didn't go back to Ahti this time. See if he had anything.
I haven't been back to Ahti in forever.
Well, he has not had anything since those first one or two. Yeah, the first two.
Yeah.
When you have to unplug the pipes and then whatever the other one was, burn the garbage.
Yeah.
That's been it. So maybe that's why I'm a higher level. Did you do those ones?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm sure there's a couple you've done that I haven't. Maybe.
I've done a few of those like alert things.
Yeah, I've done a few.
Not
of them too.
many. Because usually they're just like, I'm in the middle of something. I'm not fucking going all the way over
yeah, right.
there. Get out of here.
Going all the way back. I just got here.
Exactly.
Although you can fast travel around, so it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, if you can understand the map.
Yeah,
it makes it easier.
Yes.
So, anyways,
very good game.
Yep.
And if you guys listening along want to play with us,
yes,
please do.
Yes,
join us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/StreamingPod.
Yep. Or
down in the Discord down below, and post in the forum topic about this game.
Yes.
And we will of course read and interact with you as we go.
Yes, please.
And patreon.com. StreamPod. Get in there, throw money at the screen. There is a whole hour and a half of pre-show content on this show where we sample Pepsi Nitro for the very first time.
Yes.
And if you want to listen to that, it's just $1 a month.
Easy.
And with that being said, we will see you guys again in 1 week's time.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.